Hello! There was just a little bit of quiet time there as I was super concentrating on pressing the right buttons. Welcome back to the second half of House Affair. They finally finished their quest! It took a long time. There was a lot of deep character moments. But they did their quest and they got their money. A little birdie tells me Gilwyn wants to do something while you're chilling in the beautiful Wood Elven City.
Yeah, I want to go to find a jewel crafter.
Absolute. Well, here's the thing. Do you want to go to the best or just a jewel crafter?
I mean, I'll go to a jewel crafter.
Yeah, okay, good. What are you looking for?
I want somebody, I don't know if the jewel crafter's actually the best place for this, but I want somebody to take the whitish bluish gem that I found and turn that into 4 pieces of jewellery.
Yes. That's totally plausible. What kind of jewellery are you actually looking for?
4 rings.
Oh man,
plausible.
And so it begins.
Yeah, this is the start of a...
Gilwyn is Gollum.
Or Celebrimbor. Alright. Un moment. Do. So this is one of those things. It is possible. It is expensive if you want it to look nice. You can just have chunks of the crystal put in the gem, put on a ring. And you know what? That would look nice in its own way, right? But you know if you did that, the gem wouldn't be well used. That would almost be a waste of the gem. For it to be nice, each of those rings is going to cost 200 gold.
Can I go back to the charity? I'm kidding. I guess I'll go and make... shit.
Again, like,
nope,
for comparison, if you wanted to just have the like a chunk of crystal on a ring, and it would be set in and it would be nice, it just wouldn't be like, most of the effort would be crafting the gem itself into little things that fit in. That would be 75 gold is the difference.
Right. Scratch that.
Cool.
I will realise that I am broke again.
You would go in and just be like, what's the price for that? And they'd tell you and you'd be like, I am still considering all my options and just leave. For something maybe in the future. So, yeah. You're going to be spending quite a few days not doing anything, and I know that Gilwyn wants to spend a week performing, and Caitlin wants to spend a week working with the charity, and we can go to Forak later. So, Gilwyn, real quick, for your time off, which will be round about a week before you end up being gathered again, just give me a performance roll. Keep opening a book and closing it, like super awkwardly. So
I pick it up, I put it down.
Yeah. So you know how lifestyles work in D&D, right? You have certain level tiers of lifestyle. For example, Forak for this week is going to be living in squalid conditions. So, I mean, that's fine for him, right? And it's even going to be cheaper than normal because he doesn't need food. You're spending the weeks, Gilwyn, standing on streets, performing, playing your songs, testing new songs, I imagine, about what happened. Gilwyn Gelagir, Bane of the Bearded Bastards, maybe a few new things. And you easily earn enough money to, like you said, the reason why you need gold is to live your life. You easily earn enough to have a comfortable lifestyle for a while, which is you're living in a fairly nice, like, a tavern, but your room is big and you have an actual bathroom and you're having a variety of foods and fruits and you're having a nice time. You have enough money to, save a little money for other things or buy like random trinkets, right? Like, oh, my string on my loot thing broke. I can just buy it. It doesn't matter. This is all great. So you spend that time actually having a great time. Like, performing in this city is nice, which is probably one of the reasons why you ended up hanging around here as much as you did. It's a place that respects music, especially on the side of a street, especially in that downtrodden area, and you maybe get a little more patronage because you gave so much money away, and that word is spreading, right? Because in the story, you gave them like 300 gold because the other people didn't give their names. So Gilwyn Gallagher gave like 300 gold. Caitlin, feel free to just give me an athletics roll for your basically bodyguarding. The question is, are you going to let them pay you?
No.
I thought not. So you're going to have to
defeat the point.
I know.
We'll see each other. We'll actually see each other.
You would see each other. You're all hanging out in the same district.
Huh. I'm hanging out near that place.
Athletics roll, that's perfectly great. What kind of level of lifestyle would you want to live? You can't really just sort of piggyback off Gilwyn, but I imagine he probably helps. Modest, good. 1 gold a day. Scott, you're spending a squalid lifestyle, but I figured because you don't have to eat, that's actually half price for you. You're spending 5 copper a day. What do you want to do spending your week?
I have to spend 5 copper? Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I was squatting in a hovel somewhere.
It depends whether you want to squat.
Is there a tax?
Depends if you want to squat in a hovel or if you want to just be like... There's a difference between squalid conditions and wretched conditions, right? Gameplay-wise. If you're going wretched, free ride. What do you want to do for the week? You're squatting in a variety of holes around the place. You find the dankest, wettest places you can. It's great.
Yeah, it's pretty grimy.
Oh, yeah.
So I really, because my character isn't... sorry, my apologies. I'm going to go around and find different types of stone, elven stone, things that are natural to here, so on and so forth. And I'm just going to be experimenting on me. You know what I mean? Trying to learn a bit more about myself. Because we gained the level after last session, and so it's kind of like I'm learning the confines of that.
Great. You don't need to spend any moolah because you're squatting in various places. As someone said, are there sewers in Aradia? Hell yeah. This is a big city. At least the main parts has sewer systems. He's probably down there. What did you have for dinner, Forak? I caught rat. I don't even need to eat it. I took some bites, threw it away. Like, Forak's having a great time.
You know, I imagine the sewers of Aradia are just designed, because it's an elven city, are designed so well that they literally just kind of filter into a cesspool that all the tree houses feed off of. And so it's like, it is its own filtration and recycling system. You know what I mean? It's like brilliant.
It's smart, right? It's smart. So,
I kind of hate the fact that my character hates the elven thing, because I'm like, oh, it's such a cool city.
Maybe one day he'll learn some level of respect, but you know you won't. So, okay, while that's going on, you actually all do interact, and you actually do see Vale a few times. We'll see what Vale was doing during this time at a later date, right? But Vale does visit occasionally. Gilwyn and Caitlin, you are actually staying in the same tavern. It's just like Gilwyn has a bigger room than you. He's spending more. And it's one of those things where it's not exactly a tavern. It is more like, okay, I'm staying here for a longer period of time. It's almost a hotel, right? So again, you're basically hanging out all the time. You see Forak every now and again because he knows where both of you are hanging out, and he's just like, bleh, and wanders around a little bit and is like, Caitlin, did you get a chance to use sword? And then that kind of thing. Caitlin, you can go and get your breastplate fully fitted, and again, it's like it's actually perfect. It's been all the metal. There's not like he's added more metal. He's just reshaped what was there to be elven to fit you, and it does. It goes over what you're already wearing, and gives you the benefits of such.
Yeah, I would actually sell my chainmail because they're giving me exactly the same stats at the moment, and for chainmail,
the assumption is. Sure, you can sell the chainmail. It's like the rest of the clothing with the chainmail is like you're wearing that underneath. But yeah, you can sell your chainmail. You're still wearing like your gambeson, your almost roby things, right? Everything works together. Let me just check something real quick. My notes are bad. To be short, yeah. How's it going? Gilwyn and Caitlin, do you want to talk about how beautiful your week has been? It's been a lovely week, hasn't it?
I just want to ask, Caitlin, what do you think as "The Woman Who Kissed a Flame" as a song title?
Oh,
that it certainly draws one's attention. It's a bit of an interesting one for a song. I'd have thought it sounded more appropriate for a poem or hymn to a god than a than a song. But are you working on something?
Everything's better with music behind it.
Well, I won't deny that. Will you let me hear a few bars?
Maybe tonight. Maybe I'll let it debut tonight.
It's when you're having this conversation that the way you actually get to your room, one of the reasons why you have such an expensive living cost, but it's great for you, Gilwyn, is that this room has its own door to the outside. It's like part of this tavern, and you can go in through the floors of the building. There's like a ladder, there's a staircase, you can go up, and there's actually a knock at it. Like a rapid, like... And there's there's a door, and you like... Very quickly again, like after, like, not giving you a chance.
I'll go and open the door.
So you open the door. There is a wood elf there, jogging. And hands you a note. Like a scroll. But it's much smaller than a normal scroll.
Thank you.
And actually, like, looks inside, and then hands you another one.
Thank you.
And then, that's like...
Wait.
Huh?
I'll flick him five silver pieces.
Thank you kindly, sir. Runs off.
I'll close the door, and can I identify, like...
Very clearly the
is one
seal of House
these scrolls
Agast.
not for me?
One of them is for you.
Okay.
One of them is for Caitlin. And real quick, give me a history roll. And Caitlin can do it too if she was vaguely looking.
I would imagine that my attention would probably be drawn by the door.
Gilwyn knows this because he's actually had more dealings with it than Caitlin. That was a member of House Gallimar, who are a worldwide now courier house. They started here, but they are the most efficient couriers. So eventually people are like, could you just send me a letter all the way to the Shiver? Can you send me a letter all the way to Bastillion? Can you send me a letter all the way to Northwood? So now they're kind of everywhere, but they are literally, you send this off to House Gallimar and it gets there. It's one way or another, it gets there. The message gets there, the package gets there. So, it's a little tidbit. But yeah, message very clearly for you, very clearly for Caitlin.
Yeah, I'll give one to Caitlin and say, for you, Lady Caitlin.
Lady Halen.
Thank you. Thank you, Sir Gallagher.
And then you laugh about it like nerds. Yep. It's around about this time, wherever like Thorak's coming out to like maybe just like see the sun or not, probably. He's like doing whatever he's doing. Feel free to figure out what he's doing. But again, probably the same elf jogs up and hands him a note. And he's like, "You are Thorak, yes? Yes, you fit the description," and hands it to you.
What is this? Why you no stand still?
He just kind of hands it and leaves. Doesn't really give half much conversation. And very clearly, when you open it, it is a message from Valrorian to meet him at his office by noon.
Let us go immediately then, Sir Gil.
Yeah, okay.
Where is the sun? I cannot even see the sun.
I like that. So, you will go? No problems?
Yep.
Great. You meet up again, and it's the same thing, right? You go to the basement, you go in. While you're going in the office, a tall wood elf woman is leaving. The first thing you notice, because it's not exactly tasteful, she has leopard print gloves.
Ugh.
Oh god.
And she kind of looks at all three of you, and she's definitely looking down, even Gilwyn. Not much taller than Gilwyn, maybe a couple of inches, and just like, and walks around you all.
I would
Even
bow slightly
Thorak
to
knows
her.
leopard print is terrible.
No, yeah.
I would bow slightly to her, like assuming her to be someone important. Does she look important?
Oh, she looks more important than from her clothing. Looks more important than Valorian.
Then
right.
I would definitely give her a bow. As she
actually, you've been here for a while. You can give me, you know what? I'll do insight. It's one of those things you probably know all the names, but whether you remember,
I won't even
who
roll.
her name. That's good insight. Let me learn her name. I know it, I just don't know off the top of my head, because, weirdly enough, this plot was made quite a while ago, right? Her name is Lady Pandora, but you know that's a bit like how,
I want to open her box.
It's a bit like how you were probably introduced as Valorian as the Keeper of Secrets, or actually the Lesser Keeper of Secrets, because there are two. One of them isn't even an Aghast, but he's higher up because he's a full-blood elf. That's the kind of shit that makes Valorian seem so depressed. Her actual name is Quintel. She is basically like a crazy, almost the secretary for the entire house. She manages everyone and makes sure everyone is everywhere they're meant to be.
I would definitely bow to her quite deeply then.
and she's beautiful, but a little oddly dressed, and she has a very noticeable birthmark on her cheek. So when you see her, you're like, that's her. Maybe you've never met her before, but you've been told about her. She's very noticeable, and she is just kind of like... And when she's leaving, because you probably had to go around, like, you walk down, and then she's, like, leaving. As she's going up the stairs, she definitely looks back, and you hear, and then straight leaves again, leaving you to it, and leaving the door open with Valorian, like, writing down some notes real quick, like, arranging some things on his desk.
As I go in, I would sort of knock politely on, like, just to announce our presence.
He kind of like looks almost going to like about to apologize for not being ready and for Quintel being there, but doesn't. He's like, yes, I need of your services again. You've done a great service, of course, but there are always secrets to be kept, and I need you to do something for me. I need you to go to a house for me. And he seems to be having a little bit of trouble remembering exactly what he wants. It's like, Caitlin, I had you work for them before. We have good relations. Elven House. House Itago, the Longseers.
Itago, yes.
Yes, I need you to go to them. Caitlin will have no difficulty finding the place for you. For you too. They train divinists. They train people who can glimpse into the future. Something not so often used in our current age, but was once very important. I try to keep good standings in them, as is understandable. But I need you to go to them, and I need you to ask about a woman by the name of Layla. They should know who you're talking about. I need you to find her and bring her back to this estate, and use the front doors when you return.
When we return, with or without her, either way.
With her. With her. Not,
of course, yes.
It's easier to keep it under this to only the ears that need to know. If you cannot find her, but I will have. I'm sure you'll be able to find her. Itago will be able to help you.
Certainly, Silva, we will head there straight away unless anyone wishes to ask anything. I already know about House Itago, so if this is an urgent matter, then I would like to move quickly.
Can we at least know why we're doing this?
Considering you helped with the information, the fire powder, the material they make it from is exceedingly rare. Our resources say it only exists in 2 places in the world. One of them is under a dwarven city, and one of them is on another continent across a sea. She might be able to find a way to make an equivalent.
Okay.
An alchemist of sorts, then.
She's a wizard, specializes in fire.
I see. You want to make a cubic zirconium, yes?
Yes, actually, that is a very apt comparison with Vorak. If we cannot forge the exact, then we would want to at least try and create a replica.
Well, like with the cubic, it is possible to make a more perfected version than the original. Because natural process tends to have complications, whereas manufactured could remove complications. This is cunning.
He's not as stressed as before. He's a little rushed, but like the brow lines of stress kind of fade a bit, and he's like, "You have an interesting perspective on the world, and it is definitely important. Please find her. The rush is not great, but speed is always of the essence."
I don't mean any disrespect, but I assume we're going to be paid at the end of this.
Of course.
Okay.
If you say speed, essence, and that, perhaps you give us means to be quick?
If she is not in the city, I will arrange for stables to assist you. But last I heard, she was in Aradia.
Ah.
Well, this is all quite unusual, but if that is what is required of us by House Agast, then I'll be happy to comply. It would be nice to meet up with House Otago again.
Yes. Well, you best be off. If they give you any trouble, do, for the one time, refer to me. Mention me.
Trouble.
If that's presumably that is quite a meaningful thing.
It's
for him to
meaningful,
actually
but
say.
you also know, Caitlin, that he has tried to work with House Otago before. You've been on jobs where he's basically lended you out as a bodyguard, right?
Yeah.
To their long-seers, to the people they train. But yeah, it's important. Usually your spy master wouldn't say, yeah, if you get in trouble, say my name. That's a weird, but it's also kind of just shows the link that's going on here.
Yeah, my eyes would widen slightly anyway at that. I'm like, oh, this must be important, sort of thing. My thanks for the trust you have placed in us, said Aurorian. And I sort of bow and go to leave.
Mm-hmm. You go to leave, you're given no trouble. Well, actually, when you go to go, that secretary, that elven woman who always is standing there, usually sitting actually, but she's standing right now, and it's like, you're the ones that brought the dwarven weaponry, aren't you?
Yes, we are, Madame. Can we help you with anything?
No. I just wanted to capture all of your faces for a moment. Thank you.
Mind you, half my face is
No, exactly. So she just kind of like stares at you for a slightly weirder than normal. Well, you know. But then is just like, thank you, and sort of goes back to whatever she was doing.
I would just continue. I imagine stuff like that is probably not that weird for an elf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
Sarah, you leave.
I will probably audibly grit my teeth quite audibly grit my teeth as she captures my face with an act of treason against my people. And so I imagine the two of them hear this like grinding, almost cracking noise.
No bueno.
But I say nothing because I said that I wouldn't say anything.
Fine. So you leave the Agast estate with a new mission. Go to House Otago, find a woman named Layla.
Right, do you want to get on with this today?
Yes, well, it sounded like, if not of the utmost, if not needing the utmost speed, it is better to find her sooner rather than later. And I know the way to House Agast, not Agast, to House Otago, so This might not even take us long. I mean, it might be a bit optimistic to say we might be done within the day, but one can hope.
Perfect.
Why does all three of us need to be here to speak to Elf?
Well, I am assuming that Sir Valrorian called us as a group because he believes there might be complications. I do not think he would call all three of us and promise us all a reward if he didn't think we were needed.
Wouldn't he?
You are welcome to go your own way if you like, so far I
No. I will come along because curiosity has been piqued, so it's fine. I come. It is strange that he does not walk off his ass and across town to have quick chat, but especially if his name is supposed to have meaning. But I do not know these ways. I ask questions. Do not mind me.
That is perfectly reasonable. The keeper of secrets must be ready at all times to act as information flows through him rather than him finding information himself. It's the best way to phrase it.
Yes, I understand the way of these things. It is disturbing, but Gilwyn, I have something that hopefully you do not need.
You have something that I don't need.
Hopefully you do not need. No.
And I kind of like reach into my cloak and I pull out this like small vial, and inside of it is this like very like the viscosity of this like greenish brownish liquid, and like looking at it there might be something floating inside of it, is like pretty disturbing, and like there's definitely a thick dark liquid smudged on the outside of the vial, clearly not a clean vial, and he hands it to you.
Thank you.
It is in case things don't go as planned. Yes.
Can I while that's handing over, can I just make a visual check?
You can make a perception check to see what that is. Yeah, absolutely.
Does that count as a potion for my advantage or not?
Disgusting.
I would say yeah, it does,
disgusting.
but it is disgusting. I'm not arguing.
In case things go wrong, what do you want me to do with this?
Okay, so with a 19, you can tell, Caitlin, from your background, that some mages, some people who are magically inclined, can forge healing magic into a potion. That's how many healing potions are made, the ones that aren't made via medicinal herbs and things, and something usually called the Blue Lady. It's a plant. Thorak, maybe he had healing magic and he forged this potion, but you know that these are temporary, and well, they don't always break.
They're unstable.
That after a day or so, drinking them will do harm, not good. So you know that and can easily say that. It's not something you've seen before, but it's sort of like logical conclusions you can draw, right?
I didn't realise you were versed in the healing magic, Sir Thorak.
This is good. This is a good thing.
It is a temporary healing potion.
It is good before the sun rises.
Okay. Thanks.
So if you do not drink before sun rises, throw it away. It is, or feed it to cat.
Does Thorak not hate like cats too? Could you have a character that likes cats?
So none of my characters like cats. Ever.
I could have a character that likes dogs. That's possible.
When he says cat, Caitlin actually thinks that she's referring to her for a moment, because some people have called her cat, so she sort of looks at him slightly askance.
No, cat. And I say the word for cat in Dwarven.
Oh, she would then be...
It's not a pleasant word.
Sorry.
It's
Sorry,
not a
my
pleasant word, the Dwarven word for cat. Let's say that.
Sorry, you confused me for a moment, Sophorak. My family would call me cat, so it is...
Caitlin, suffice to say, you and I are not family.
No, of course.
Oh, damn.
But I would not be averse to my traveling companions to call me Cat as well. We've been through many battles together already, have we not? But it is up to you, Sir Forak. And that permission goes to you as well, Sir Gil.
Thank you, Lady Helen.
And he doesn't respond at all. So,
Right. Should we get going?
Yep.
mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Caitlin, give me an investigation roll with advantage. You basically know the way there. It's more, good routes, not getting horribly lost, stuff like that.
Don't make me roll 2 1s or something stupid.
It's possible. So, you've not been here for a while. It might have been a year ago, and you didn't really go into their estate. You kind of waited outside. You kind of remember they had a tower, right? They're mages. They had a tower. They trained people in a tower, and there was an academy. So you do find your way there. It is in the inner circle of the city. You definitely know that you're going up the inner circle of the city. Not only is it obvious because you're sort of going upwards, but it is nicer. It's finer quality. There are more guards. Sometimes you've seen guards with golden trim along their green armor. But that, you see like maybe one of them, and they're very clearly escorting someone, right? Those are the Royal Guard. But the Royal Guard in that even a nobility, like some of these duty houses, are kind of royalty, So you find your way to the estate of House Itargo. The Long Seers is the word they use for them. They are divinists. It's a smaller estate than Egas, and the estates nearby. Most of the buildings near are estates or townhouses or things like that, or sometimes private castles. But like you said, it's a large tower with a couple of buildings around it and a courtyard, but it's much smaller than Agast. It's probably as big as much of Agast as you've seen from entering that one way and looking around, whereas that's an entire castle. All of this you can see within sight. Like most of these estates, they are sort of almost like private villages, right? They have guards outside. In this case, it's a Radian town guard. Are they guarding so much as just sort of keeping watch? Yeah. You notice a couple of people sitting outside on benches. One of them is one of the Long Seers. The most notable thing is that they wear they wield a staff that is made of a very pale wood. It's not exactly white, but it has a definite look to it. However, it doesn't really look like anything, but that is, you recognize the design of their staves. And Caitlin remembers that there is something special about the staves. They're made in-house, and they all have a special thing to them, but you don't remember what it is. You just know, there's a thing here. They are special. You also know there's not many of these people. This is why it's quite a small house. So you're up to the door.
Yep. Is there anyone?
Guard.
A guard.
Yes. It's less of a door, more of a gate. It's gate into the gardens of the property, And the gate is open, but it's one of those things. If you were trying to go in, they'd be like, "Wait, who are you? State your purpose."
I would go up to the guard. Excuse me, we are here on an errand for House Agast. We need to speak to a member of House Itargo.
House Agast, you say?
Yes.
On what business?
We are to ask about a woman known as Layla. I do not know any more than that, I'm afraid. I was told House Itargo could answer in greater detail.
He kind of gives you all a look, and he does definitely linger his eyes on Thorak for a bit. But then he kind of looks back at Caitlin, kind of confused. House Agast has a dwarven warlock with them?
We are the people who do the lowest jobs, you might say, the tidying up.
No, say no more. I understand.
I'm sorry for the
your
inconvenience,
business should be reasonable within Itargo. Please. And he steps aside
Thank
and
you.
allows you in, and You go inside, like, small bit of gardens, then there's sort of a guild hall-like building, and then there's that tower. Inside, there's more younger elves learning than, and then some of none of them are that old. They're, you know, middle-aged or so in elven terms, but they're mostly, you know, meditating or not doing much in the gardens. Some of these buildings have like open walls with pillars, so you can see inside, and you can quite clearly see their libraries like that. It seems to have doors that can close, but because it's a lovely day, the doors are open, so whoever's studying can just have some fresh air, which is, you know, kind of nice. But you wander in, and no one really like goes up to you.
I imagine it's my smell keeping them away.
No one says anything. No one's like, P.U., you know. You go in a human city, that's gonna happen. Elves are a little more polite about it.
Is there like a main door or anything? Or...
You imagine if you went into that either the main tower or main academy and like tried to state your purpose, they would probably, either way, they would find a way. You know, they would, you know, either know what you're here for. Last time they were like, "Oh yes, you're here for this." They didn't even ask, or would then ask the appropriate questions, right?
Yeah. So I will just go looking for the nearest way in that is likely to have a person.
Great. You go up to one of these seers, who is again, you kind of go into this tower. It's not one of those ones you can look all the way up. It's tiered floors. It's probably their housing plus some halls higher up from what you're guessing at. This bottom one is sort of it's actually dipped into the ground with a big sort of bowl in the middle, and there is a magical doodad in the middle of it. Is it got anything better than it kind of looks interesting? You don't know whether that serves purpose or is just for decoration. It's sort of casting a little bit of rainbow light all over the room. This long seer is sort of, you go up and you're about to be like, huh? And he's like, who are you? And these definitely, they're quite similar to Thorak, but their robes do cover the eyes. They don't cover like one eye. They're like...
excuse me, sir. We are here on behalf of House Agast. We were to ask you about a woman known as Layla. Or I do not know if it is you personally, of course, but a member of your house, certainly.
Were you tasked in finding a specific member, or were you tasked in finding someone who could give you the answers you seek? I can give the answers you seek.
If the answers we seek would be excellent, sir.
Of course, we do require payment for such things. You said you were coming from a house...
Agast, Valrorian Agast, has sent us.
He kind of like, drags his hands along the wood. Understood. Yes, this is understandable. Then the bill will go to him. You're seeking a woman. A red-headed woman. You weren't told that. Well, if you were like, huh?
We got that.
Yeah. You were just quiet for a bit, right? And this is like one of those elves. They are happy to spend 10 minutes not saying anything while, you know, awkward silences last so long they kind of stop becoming awkward silences. He would be walking down into that. It wouldn't be stairs. It would just be like a very slight slope. It'd be a step and then a slight slope. Right down, and he'd be walking down into it. And there would be other people crisscrossing back and forth. If people are having conversations, it's in very hushed Elvish. It's very quiet.
Caitlin would not rush him. She would just... She's pretty used to this. She would just follow quietly.
I'm fine with the slow pace as well.
We don't know that she's got red hair.
You don't? What do you know?
We know her name, which we've already given to you.
You know part of her name.
It was mentioned, I believe, that she was some sort of wizard. Specialising in fire magic.
Yes. Yes. We occasionally see the past as well as the future. And her past is in Aradia. Allow me some time. Rituals must be taking place. I must see with my eye I must take time. And he just sort of stops. And he's like holding the staff in front of you. And you're not sure if you're meant to leave or not. But sort of as he's there, he is sort of muttering in elvish spellcasting tongues. And it's almost a holy chant. But like slowly rings of magic start to form around him. And the sigils start to go up and over. But you have no idea what you're meant to do. It's a very awkward thing for the humans.
Caitlin, what should we do?
I think when elves, when they get like this, it's probably best just to wait patiently for them.
He is either doing a ritual to learn things, or he's making us wait because he's a douche. Elves, you can never tell the difference.
Someone else, it's not this guy that you're talking to, someone else actually comes up, and you can tell they're not wearing their hood, they're looking at Thorak, and they kind of actually look at him for a bit without saying anything. It's definitely one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Do you say anything?
Thorak is accustomed to being stared at in an elven city, being a stinky dwarf. That's okay. His clothes are always clean, you know what I mean? But he does not seem very clean.
Would I notice this?
Yes, absolutely. Because you would be like, huh. And he's like just about to talk now. But he's just like the other guy, but he's not wearing his hood. And he seems actually kind of young. He's like, you make me question my own abilities, Mr. What is your name?
I'm sure there has been many a lady that has come before to make you question your own abilities.
No.
Move along, boy elf. Move along.
Do you have teleportation magics, mister?
Teleportation. No.
Then how
Like, it
come
took him
my
a moment to
future...
realize what that meant.
How come your future in minutes, in seconds, is in Lichvale and you are here?
Because you need more training.
Perhaps.
You speak to wood. You need to learn talk to stone. It's a little more solid, the information you get, yes?
I'm reading your aura, sir. You are attuned to air, not stone.
Whatever you say.
He kind of like slowly walks away, like kind of thinking. He actually turns around and he kind of looks at Gillen and Caitlin. He's like, no, I see them well. I see you in two places. Perhaps more. It's muddled. Perhaps it is your blood. I have not seen a dwarf before. And he just kind of walks away. Walks outside.
I will like turn around, and I'm my character's not very. Well, let me just double check that. Yeah, his deception is he's not trained in deception, so he turns around and just kind of like thank God this guy walked away, and then he like unconsciously will toss a quick glance at Gil, just kind of like and then we'll look away. As to whether or not Caitlin notices that, I mean that's I suppose a perception check or an insight up to Ollie.
Yeah, feel free to do an insight actually, Caitlin, for this one. Like they do kind of like a weird thing together there. You do not notice. Caitlin actually doesn't notice this entire interaction. She's just focusing on this guy in front of him.
Oh. But yeah, I definitely gave Gilwin a look like that was a close call.
Yeah, I acknowledge that completely.
Yeah.
So it takes a little bit of time. Probably around 20 minutes of this guy meditating in front of you. And in time that magic circles around him follow, and then they go up the lines in the wood. This woman you seek, Layla. She's at the docks now. She's attempting to board a ship. The docks of Aradia.
My eyes would, my
The
eyes
city
would
we are
widen.
in.
My eyes would widen at this. Thank you, sir. We must make haste then. Come, Sir Gil, Sir Thorak. Again, thanks.
Which ship?
She has not decided.
Yes, okay. And then
Thorak's like, calling shit.
And so I'll definitely turn and immediately follow after. I'll hobble after Caitlin.
You took 20 minutes for that. God, and then I'll leave as well.
Alright, I imagine Caitlin is leaving in quite a rush.
All he did was honestly, all he did was go off to the side. He checked Twitter, saw herself by the docks, and he was like, "Yeah, the docks."
You know,
Snapchat maps.
that's what the divination is, basically.
Check his
Celestial Twitter. So, Caitlin, you're rushing off to the docks, are you not?
Yes.
With these two in tow. So,
Yes.
you can easily get there. You get there as fast as you can. Feel free to give me a very quick perception roll. All of you. Again, all of you that care, but you kind of all... You all care.
Wait, my rolls have gone from amazing to crap. Oh well, I guess that's fair.
The issue is you don't really know what you're
My
looking
rolls are
for.
always crap.
All you know is that she's got red hair. So you run there and you stop at the docks and Caitlin's like, we must find her. Looking around quite actively. And it's like, the docks are really big. There's a lot of ships here. You don't know why she's leaving. You don't know what she's looking for. You're just kind of here. And Gilwyn sort of looks around a little better and quite clearly see, only people redhead here are, you know, there's a man. He's got a big beard. I don't think he's Layla. Like, there's...
You do not necessarily know this, Gilwyn. Layla is a feminine name, and these are elves, so very likely that a Stacy or a Rebecca is in fact a man.
Okay, fine. Hello, sir. Are you Layla?
No, my name is
He's not Layla. Let's go.
Oh,
I don't even listen
you
to
sure
his
you don't
response.
want to? No, just trails off as you leave.
Caitlin would actually start asking, particularly ship workers and ship captains, if she sees any.
What are you asking?
Specifically, I would be asking if a lady with red hair, calling herself Layla, has inquired after passage or where she is at the present.
Sure. Give me a persuasion roll. I'll give you advantage for your mercantile stuff, actually. I'm going to let that spread here. Even though it's not necessarily super appropriate, but a good deal of these would be merchant
Thank God
ships.
you gave me
Great! See, sometimes you gotta be nice. You actually go for a few, and it's a trader ship who are like, it's a human-led trader ship. And you actually notice that this guy is particularly red-skinned compared to you and Gilwyn, and he's like, yes, actually, this woman Layla, she's going to board ship. She's just currently closing her affairs at the local tavern, and then she will be boarding ship, and then we will be leaving.
Thank you, sir. We have a small bit of business with her before she leaves, so do you mind if we wait in the area to meet her?
Well, I would say that is okay. You can wait wherever you wish to wait. Do not get in the way of our loaders. We do have people loading things back and forth. Do not get in the way of them. If you do not get in the way, then you can happily stand in this little bit of dock space. It's not my, I don't make the docks. So you can absolutely do what you wish.
Thank you, sir.
How long was the travel from the Elven Seer to the docks in general?
2 to 3 hours, probably more closer.
Oh,
to
okay,
3.
cool.
Not super long, but you know.
Okay, so less invested than otherwise would have been. I say,
Caitlin, these men says that there is a Layla that is supposed to be here. Yes. But she was not decided yet. Perhaps this is not the correct one, and there is a different one.
Well, it has taken us some time to reach here, Sephorak. It is quite possible she decided in the meantime. Particularly, she hasn't yet actually boarded a ship. It is quite reasonable to assume it would take her a couple of hours to make a decision and close her affairs.
I completely agree with you. Perhaps we should still check other ships just in case. Perhaps I stay here just in case because I move slow with my bagged leg, and then you two check other ships, or should we all just wait here for her?
No, that
It's
is
just
that
eggs
is certainly an
baskets.
excellent idea. Just in case, yes. Have we got? We need some way to. It's a pity we don't have some way to communicate at distance, isn't it? Oh well.
I can use spell to make things, but my spells perhaps seen as not good when I use, so perhaps I not do that.
Well, we can ask around and check back every 10 or 15 minutes or so. But yes, it is an excellent idea, Sephorak. Come, Sir Gil, let's have a check round just to make sure.
More persuasion
I'll-
rolls.
Is this with advantage as well?
Yeah. I was at Old Thorak.
I stay here.
Yes.
Wow!
Piece of shit.
Mr. Gilwyn. Gallagher. You do
This is
ask around
awesome
for a
shit.
bit, and you sort of come back, and you're kind of so preoccupied with making sure you come back, in case she did show up, that you almost don't really get any good information. The one times that someone does really talk to you, you're like, I'm sorry, I need to... You, like, kind of had the wrong priorities. But it seems you were waiting at the right ship. Because as you're sort of waiting there, like, no one else seems to know anything. You see a woman. She's walking up to the ship with a bag, and she's carrying it, and it seems quite heavy. She's got red hair and a red sort of outfit on, but with a dark cloak. Not dark, like trying to hide themselves like Thorak, just a sort of traveler's cloak. Like red corset, red dress, but the cloak is tied around it. And she's walking, and she doesn't notice you other more than you actually are blocking the way to the ship. And I think that's where we're going to take our final break.
Gotta pee.
Yeah, go pee. Go everything. Go banana.